Our next step is to prepare our tags that are on the outside of the box, and then I also want to show you the inside of the box because we'll be making something for that as well. So our two tags are on the outside of the box here, and this one we have used one of Tim Holtz's new stamps, The Journey Awakens the Soul. We've also used a mask, which is the compass mask, and we've got a game spinner and a couple little keys, and then the underneath tag says Dad on it, and we've used a couple different masks here as well. So I'm going to be showing you how to do that. And then as you open out the box here, one thing that we didn't cover yet is that the inside has a clock. So which is great for a desk. So we're going to be creating the underneath piece for the clock, and then we're also going to be doing the clock face. So I'm going to just close this and set this aside. And I've got my two tags ready here. One is going to say Dad, and one is going to be stamped with The Journey Awakens the Soul. You can, I've stamped both of them with the embossing, the clear embossing powder, but you can leave one off or do them both the same. You can make one smaller, bigger, however you want to do it. So we'll be working with our masks first of all, and I'm going to be, this mask goes with this tag, so we're going to set that aside. And on the other tag, I'm going to make the Dad tag first. As you can see, I've already worked with these masks, so they've got some ink on them. They make them a little easier to see here, but so I am just going to layer my mask. And actually, if you put them all at one time, then you can work over your entire tag at once, and then you don't have to you eliminate a few steps for yourself. So I'm just going to work them over my masks. Make sure I hit all the parts. Okay. So you can see where my masks were right there. And you can add a little bit more if you want to. I kind of like it that way, so that's where we're going to leave it. Again, if you're planning to do lettering or adding the ink to make a saying, you want to stay away from that embossed part because it will not show up. Your ink it acts as a resist. So for this step I'm using the walnut stain because I want this to be a little bit darker, and I want the word Dad to show up. So I've got my Dad word, and I can move on to our other tag. For our other tag, I am going to be using the black soot and the stamp that says The Journey Awakens the Soul, and this is on the Soulful Journey Tim Holtz stamp set. I'm going to pull this off and put it on my stamp block here, and then take the black soot distressed ink, and you really want to make sure that you ink the stamp up because, well, for one, this is distressed ink, so sometimes it tends not to show up as much as like a regular ink. It's supposed to be distressed looking, but it's not going to be a just doesn't show up as well sometimes. So I want to make sure that you ink the stamp really well. And I'm inked, and I'm going to place it on my tag here, but I want to stay away from this part right here that's embossed because it will not show up. So I'm just going to center as best I can and drop my stamp. The other thing is that when you're doing this kind of a distressed look on this tag, it doesn't have to be perfect or show up, just as long as you get the general idea and you can read it fairly well. So there we go, The Journey Awakens the Soul. And then we're going to be putting on our second mask for this, using a different mask on this tag. And I've got the compass, the mini mask. These are great and very inexpensive, but they add a lot of cool things to your project. So I'm just gonna drop my mask straight down. Again, kind of staying away from that embossed area. Okay, and then I'm gonna take my walnut stain and work it over where my mask is. Okay, and then once I think I have enough ink down, and you have your compass, but you can still read just faintly the stamp behind, is to add your game spinner, which I have right here. And I picked kind of a medium-sized one for my original project. Actually, it was one of the smaller ones in this little kit here, so. And I need a little brad. So right where the center of my compass is where I'm going to put my hole. And if your tag is stubborn, you can always pre-punch the hole, but that went right through. But while I have my other masks out, I'm going to set these aside. And we're going to be making the background for the clock, and then you can also use this for the little notebook that we're going to make that goes inside. So again, I'm going to get my time masks back out and just randomly place them down. Like I said, that doesn't usually happen. It's just because I've worked with these masks quite a bit recently, so. Okay, and I'll just pull this up to show you what I've got so far. Our masks have been applied and we've prepared our paper. So the next step will be to prepare the face of our clock.